Good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to Maximus the Fourth. What I have here is an original bottle of Pepsi Lime from 2005 to 2007, and then what I have here is a original, or should I say, a regular bottle of Pepsi and a lime. The title of today's video is going to be Can original Pepsi Lime from the States be made using regular Pepsi and a lime? In today's video, I'm very briefly going to walk you guys through the history of Pepsi Lime, all the releases that have happened in the States, and then we're going to try to mix some of this lime juice by spraying some of it into this cup and mixing the Pepsi into it. So let's get into it. Can original Pepsi Lime be made using regular Pepsi in a lime? If you ever asked yourself that, I'm really glad you did, because the quick answer is no. And the reason for that is because if you were to look at the back of a Pepsi Lime container from the States, you'll notice that it very explicitly says no juice. Contains no juice. Now here's where the story gets a little bit more interesting. In 2015, there was a different version of Pepsi Lime that was called Pepsi Limon, and that was originally released in Spanish-speaking countries. However, it did come out in the States in 2015 for a limited time only, and it was inspired for Spanish-speaking countries. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I think that one contained 2 or 3% lime juice. My memory isn't 100% refreshed for that, but you can see full details on that on a video where I recarbonated this original exact bottle of Pepsi Lime. And going to 2019, there was yet a different version of Pepsi Lime that was released in the States. And this one was called Pepsi Lime, but if you really wanted to get fancy, you could call it Pepsi with a splash of lime juice. And this one right here, my friends, contained 1% juice, as you can clearly see. Hold on, we're not done just yet. Pepsi Lime did come back once again in 2024 of last year, and this one was pretty much the same exact version as this one, the original. And if you look at the ingredients on the original United States Pepsi Lime and the most recent release, they're very, very close to being exactly the same. In fact, pretty much the only difference is that the original one contained potassium benzoate, which preserved the freshness. And then it also had potassium citrate, which I don't think that is in this one. So if you think about it, the original version of Pepsi Lime was just simply made a little bit better, and I think this one might have had a better shelf life should this one have been released in bottles too. So if you really think about it fundamentally, the original and latest releases of Pepsi Lime in the States were both actually the initial and returning imposter. And neither one of these releases of Pepsi Lime are ever what Pepsi Lime should have been in the first place, because it wasn't made with lime juice. It's hard to say what they did, but, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, natural flavors, phosphoric acid, potassium benzoate, whatever, potassium citrate. They probably just took all those chemicals and combined them and did several series of taste tests before eventually they came out with a taste where they might have thought that it tastes as close to Pepsi Lime as they could get, but it was actually a very sloppy approach. Now this version right here, now we're talking. If there's any version of Pepsi Lime that you'd want to try to reinvent or, reduplicate, whatever you want to call it, it would be Pepsi made with a splash of lime juice. Pepsi Lime, and of course you could, maybe, but that's a different story. We're focusing on this one because, in my personal opinion, I thought that this was the best version of Pepsi Lime that ever came out in the States. So now that I've given you guys pretty much all the history I can on Pepsi Lime and what it would be like trying to remake it just using regular Pepsi and a lime, we're going to get right into this and try this experiment and see how it goes. And more than anything, I can pretty much guarantee you that it's an experiment that's most likely probably going to fail. But for all you Pepsi fans out there that want more Pepsi content, that is exactly what I am here for. So let's get into it. I think what I will do first is I will spray some lemon juice in here. We'll just eyeball it. We'll spray some in there to be like, okay, that's about 1%, and then call it good. And in a later video, I actually will try to remake Pepsi Lime using concentrated lime juice instead of just lime, because, yeah, it's pretty much, you get it. So, not too fancy here. Let's just play around and see what we can do. Okay. We'll call that 1%, and just fill this up all the way and call it good. Okay, I'm pretty sure that that's gotta be close to 1% and then 99% Pepsi. I don't know exactly. Like I said, I don't really care to be 100% accurate. We're just playing around here, and we're going to see what happens. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pepsi Lime, trying to remake it. Okay. Originally, I did try this exact experiment with Pepsi Twist, trying to remake it with a lemon, and that was a horrible experiment. It did not go well at all. Truth be told, I'm hustling you guys a little bit because I actually have tried this off camera before. And I feel like I can taste some lime in there. Let's just go all out here just to get a better taste. That should be good. Yeah, I could taste it a little bit. Now, you might notice that the only thing about this experiment also is that unless you actually are looking it up online how to do this, you can't get it to look exactly perfect because you'll notice that the Pepsi looks a little bit cloudy. You kind of got to know what you're doing when you're trying to infuse lime juice with regular Pepsi. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. That was pretty good. I don't know what the percentage just changed there. That could be 10 or 15% lime juice in there next to 85% Pepsi. But for those of you out there that do like Pepsi Lime and can no longer get your hands on it, don't be afraid to just go all out. Spray a good chunk of lime juice in your Pepsi because it actually tastes pretty good. On a scale rating, I'd give that a fair 7 out of 10. So with that said, can original Pepsi Lime from the States be replicated using regular Pepsi into lime? The honest truth is no. Not with original Pepsi Lime. But you can come somewhat closer to Pepsi with a splash of lime juice. That's it, you guys. That was Can Original Pepsi Lime be made using regular Pepsi and a lime? Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know I enjoyed making it. I got 4 videos. If you're new to this channel, you need something else to do. I need to promote all 4 of those videos to 1,000 views. The first one's going to be eating an entire bag of Doritos, a mukbang that I took on over a year ago. The second one is going to be twins enjoying rotisserie chicken and sweet spicy chili Doritos. The third one is going to be what does Crystal from the makers of Pepsi actually taste like? And then the fourth one is going to be Powerade mixed berry, 0 sugar, 2-liter chug. I'll make sure to leave all 4 of the links to those videos down in the description of this video. And for all other extras and even ways to help support this channel, it's all going to be listed down in the description below. Maximus the Fourth here, as always. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. God bless you guys. ASMR Ral, if you don't leave a freaking comment down here on this video, I'm going to hunt you down. Peace out, you guys.